slept with 1,000 men, not 999 in 12 hours.
Yeah, well, 1,057. I hit the 1,000 and there's still 57 men queuing. I couldn't say to them, sorry guys, I know you've just put in a long shift waiting, you've brought your packed lunch, you need to go home. Of course, I was like, welcome in.
Putting in a long shift? Just acted like they're waiting to come back from the coal mines. Like, oh, you packed your lunch? Come on in. What the fuck?
So someone posted divorce rates, right? The first...
Oh, hey, that was me. Yeah, so much like domestic violence, when it comes to divorce, the rate is actually 50-50. And also, much like domestic violence, lesbians take up the majority of the divorce rate. And again, much like domestic violence, gay men take up the lowest amount of that rate and the divorce rate. But no, please enlighten me as to how men are the issue and men need to learn how to treat women and menly men. I'm sorry. No, because it would kind of appear like when men get together, for the most part, everything's fine. But when women get together, World War III. World War III. Women initiate divorces in between heterosexual couples the most. And women always respond to this by being like, it's proof that men are shit. So what about the lesbians then? No. Try to answer me without calling me a pick-me. Go ahead. Blake Lively is that girl in high school that cheated on her boyfriend, and instead of just admitting she cheated, she just accuses him of like rape or something. Those that don't know, Blake Lively did a movie with Justin in which she then claimed that he was like sexually inappropriate with her because of the scenes that they were having to film. So I don't know if like Ryan Reynolds got like jealous or something and she just had to save her own ass, or maybe she's just that vile, wanted to cheat on her husband and couldn't, so then got bitter that it was just a movie and Justin didn't actually want to eat her Arby's sandwich. She has falsely accused this guy of sexual misconduct, and in the article that she accused him in the court case, she says that he bit her lip and lingered with a kiss, and that made her uncomfortable, even though clearly she bit his lip. She's projecting. And again, this was all for a movie. Like, this is 2025. Film a movie with an actress and the scenes in the movie can get you charged with sexual misconduct. Hey.
Ugh, I hate cats.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Hey, don't talk about my mom like that. Yeah, skip.
Chat, can y'all defend me? This is crazy as She said, shut your... No, honestly?
No, where's your mom?
No, honestly, that, like, was good. I appreciate you for that. I needed that. I needed some humbling.
Girl, you probably do OnlyFans. Wait, is that Camila?
Yeah, it is, girl. Hi. Hi, Pookie.
That's international OnlyFans model, Camila, bullying a 12-year-old girl online. And the only thing more concerning about that is the fact that the 12-year-old girl actually recognized her. And this is why my daughter will never have socials until she's 16.
I'm sorry that I'm not a person anymore. I'm a problem.
Bitch! Not the chocolate ring stuffer. Oh! Who's more oppressed? Okay, ready? My turn. Woman lures online date to apartment before two men shoot him and rob him. Teen girl fatally stabs stranger in the neck after using a dating app to lure him on the first date. I love how they cover her identity. Woman accused of drugging and robbing older men in deadly romance scheme. This one was investigated by the FBI. Woman who used a dating app to lure a victim into a robbery that ended her own boyfriend's life. Oh, but I got more.
A woman used a dating website to lure a man to a deadly robbery.
San Antonio police arrested the woman that they say set up a man who was shot and robbed back in May.
Tonight, police are questioning a woman in connection with a dating app ambush. Riverdale officers trying to connect the dots after two different men say they were robbed after going to meet a same woman.
I am beyond sick and tired of women invalidating men's experiences off of Oppression Olympics. I have it worse. In my video where I'm talking about preventing male suicide, this feminist feminist decides to hop in here and tell me that it's men's fault, they created the issue, and more women get raped in 2 months than men kill themselves in a year. This is unequivocally false, by the way. Unequivocally false. You don't get to walk around and tell men that they don't have to be worried about whether or not a woman wants them for their money or for themselves because, well, women have to worry about getting raped. You especially don't get to come into men's rights advocates' comment sections and invalidate all of the men who have either dealt with suicide or are contemplating suicide themselves just because women get raped as well. Because congratulations, so do men. So stop being insufferable, get off your high horse, and open your eyes to the fact that women like you are exactly why feminism has regressed 50 years.
Artlist.io.
Yeah, so there was a woman who actually did this. She used to be a feminist and she decided to dress up as a man for like a couple months and go out and just live the experience of what it's like to be a man. She killed herself. Yeah, she's dead. Her story was actually so big that it made it into the New York Times, and her name was Nora Vincent. She wrote this book called The Self-Made Man. It went global, and it really depicted like what men go through, and her herself was even shocked at how shitty she was treated, how much she was dismissed, and that experiment fucked her up psychologically so bad that she actually took her own life at 53. I faced a lot of controversy over this because 3 years ago when I heard of the story, I was an ignorant bastard and I said that I didn't feel bad for her because she used to be a man-hating feminist. Yeah, pretty disgusting, pretty grotesque, not my proudest moment, and I've taken it back every day ever since, and I still do. So instead of being an ignorant prick like myself, why don't you actually try to figure out like what men are going through, or actually don't, because it'll probably cost you your life. Realizing the actual shit that men go through every single day just because you think it's harder to be a woman, it's just not the vibe. Oh, you're actually ignorant, you're grotesque, and you're wrong for this. Rest in peace, Nora Vincent.
A lot of straight men don't like consensual sex. That's why they call sexually liberated women easy. They'd much rather coerce you into having sex opposed to you immediately consenting.
I'm sorry, hold on a second. Do you have any actual evidence, or in the words of Jordan, come here, is this purely on a trust me bro basis? Obviously, people having a right to a preference isn't something that is strong with this woman, so let me be the first one to tell you, men are allowed to have preferences without us labeling them as fucking predators. This is seriously just as absurd as this chick.
I just have preferences. Talking about no saggy skin, no cellulite, no stretch marks. Titties need to be all the way up here. Okay, titties tiny and up here. No hair on your body at all. And she needs to be small, cute little voice. Yeah, what you're describing is a prepubescent girl.
If I got on the internet and said that women who don't like bald men and don't like beards, they are pedos. You know why? Because a receding hairline and a full beard, that is a sign of maturity. So if she doesn't like that, then put her on a registry. Let's be honest, you are mad that men don't want you, and so instead of just realizing that everybody has a preference and somebody out there will love you, you need to make yourself as insufferable as possible to ensure that nobody will love you. It's not men's fault that women in 2025 are so stuck up and self-absorbed that they can't handle it when a man doesn't like her back. And if you don't believe me, look at this video. Yeah, I got more receipts.
You can't tell someone like me to shoot their shot, because if I shoot my shot and that person reject me, I'm gonna shoot them for real, because I don't do that well with rejection, and now I'm embarrassed.
Not to mention the video of mine that's going very viral right now where the woman is physically assaulting a guy on the street because he didn't want to date her because she had kids. Just because you're mad that men don't like you doesn't mean that you can paint them as fucking predators. I hope that I have made myself clear. On today's episode of How Hypocritical Can Women Get? What completely baffles, shocks, and disgusts me isn't just how many likes that video got or how many videos like that I've seen. Like, I've heard countless stories, and I know that you guys have too, of women being grossly physically harmed because they cheated. Some some countries, women lose their lives over it. In fact, we've seen videos on TikTok of guys being like, I slapped my girlfriend because she cheated with my best friend. But yet you guys will walk around and make videos bragging about committing heinous violent crimes against men, doing the exact same thing that you guys are claiming as our greatest form of oppression. And then if men get upset about it, you call them sensitive. You shame them. You say it's just a joke. What's your problem? So joking about rape perpetuates a violent culture, but joking about hurting men doesn't. Videos like yours embolden sick women like you who know they can get away with it. Before I continue this video, I just want to bring a second to bring some awareness to this Australian suicide prevention. I'm sorry. I don't think I'm any better than a man.
Roma Army contacted me, the same girl who tried to sabotage and defame my character when I first came out, and then she deleted all the videos because, again, she got backlash because people actually like me. What? She wants to now work together and come together. What? If you guys are a Roma Army fan, do you think this is good for, you know, unity and things like that? I don't know any women who follow her or who even like her, and I don't even know anybody who knows about her.
First of all, to even be beefing with somebody in the men's rights community who seemingly has the same goal as me is thoroughly embarrassing. I am embarrassed that I even have to make this video right now. Tay Tay Baby claims that I tarnished her character. And 2 years ago when you were picking on me, I made a video saying that we are on the same side. No, it's Tay Tay Baby and I used to be friends, even though she claims she never knew who I was and that nobody knows who I am, even though I have 2.5 billion impressions on YouTube. Nice try. This all came to head because it's Tay Tay Baby directly slut-shamed a mother who posted a video breastfeeding.
I get it. You gotta feed your baby. That feed your baby. Right. But in all reality, if you know you're gonna have kids and you know you're gonna be out in public, why don't you prep some milk ahead of time? Be a planner. Me personally, I don't think a lot of women grasp this, which, you know, it's delusion because you do know this. Women say that men are perverts and all this shit, yet you guys post stuff like this. Look at all the people who saved this video. Do you think it was women who saved that for later? Exactly. They're weird people on this app.
So let me get this right. By your logic, if women didn't post stuff like that on social media, then they could have a right to call men weirdos. And also, you show your cleavage, you stick your tongue out, tongue ring a lot. That's perceived as sexual. Does that mean that because you're posting that gives men a right to be weird towards?
You slut-shamed a breastfeeding mother, and I respond to you as literally kindly as I possibly could. And I was in my savage days back then. You responded by calling me a chameleon and slut-shaming me. We went our separate ways, and you claim that I just reached out to you asking to collaborate? That's super funny. I reached out to her and I said, hey, I know we definitely had our differences, but I feel like now more than ever, it's important to be aligned with the women who have the same goal than to hold on to difference in opinions. I'd like to extend an olive branch and say that I hope we can at least be amicable and get back on the same page. I apologize for the personal attacks I made. They were immature and not a reflection of my character now. In which she responds by basically saying, tread lightly with people you cross. You might need them in the future. With all these attacks happening on Emily King and the Davocate, I realized how embarrassing it would be to be beefing with another woman in the men's rights community. So I reached out to you, but your ego allowed you to lie to your own community. Keep my name out of your mouth. You're about to shit yourself because you're so excited at the prospect of men getting beat has to be the most disgusting thing I've seen on the internet all year. But what's worse than you is the unhinged women in the comments at the thousands promoting how much they want to beat men. Do they provide the men or do we have to bring them from home? We should celebrate this everywhere. The therapy most women need. This is heavenly. Only girls understand. Petition to ditch Valentine's Day for whatever day this is. This should be an annual celebration everywhere on International Women's Day. Is there a sign-up sheet or we just turn up with our own sticks? Me Me calling this out means that I just don't like women, right? Like, I don't support women. I'm a pick-me. I'm waiting for these comments. In some Hindu cultural practices, this is where a man is basically apologizing for every tear that his wife has ever had to shed. And her thumping him in the head is like his way of apologizing for her pain. But women don't care. They're like, what? Men getting beat? And you can just do this for free without going to prison, even though we beat men every day and don't get in trouble for it? My face is literally red. I'm so disgusted and so pissed off at the constant normalization of abuse towards men. And then we have the fucking audacity to sit here and be like, what? Men's rights advocates are asking for equality, which means we can't beat men and live off of double standards? That is it.
All day, every day, therapist, mother, maid, infant.
Men, you are not safe around women. Not only do they take up half of the domestic violence rate, but lesbians take up the majority of the domestic violence rate, reaching it upwards of 70%. Gentlemen, if you know that you don't support the abuse of women, if you are constantly calling it out in your own life, don't be gaslit by these women. They are just as bad as the men that you protect the women in your life from. Keep protecting the women around you, but don't be affected whenever they sit there and they're like, well, you can be oppressed because we're oppressed more. We celebrate the abuse of men every single fucking day with every new trend that comes around, and women are happily proclaiming how bad they want to hurt men. So don't let them fucking fool you. Half of them don't want equality. They want supremacy.
Something so out of the ordinary. How are you laying me down to a dead and buried? Something so.
How women are in the comments like, he definitely abuses her. Like, wow, you guys are so good at pinpointing abusive men until it's your baby daddy. Number 1, 2, or 3. You take a pick. This woman is very unhappy. Children never know the real story of parents. You're not a girl's girl blaming your mom for not showing affection to your dad without knowing what she might have gone through with him. Wow. He cheated in the past 100%. You have no idea what that man did to her. Y'all get mad at her, but he could have done something to make her like that. You don't know their personal business. Your mom never left your dad doesn't mean he didn't do something that caused her to not want to be loving towards him. Crazy is these modern pseudo-feminists will have you believing that like women can just do no wrong. It's always a man's fault. They justify the most toxic behavior based off of this premise. Literally saw a man with his face busted up, swollen eyes, bleeding nose, and women were in the comments like he did something that made her beat him. I don't know why it's so difficult for you guys to conceptualize that there are maybe just miserable fucking women out there, that maybe there are women who are domestic abusers and abusers without it always being the man's fault. I think the daughter knows what's going on with her parents. Projecting your own fucking personal fifi trauma onto other women and to men. Annoying, and it's fucking insufferable.
Video because there's a pretty big creator that made a video that was all about me, 45 minutes long. I just finished watching it and the woman is so triggered. She actually talks about how she just wants to punch me in the face.
So I am so creative, as we all know, and Emily, I appreciate this video. I made a whole video about you. You have every right to make a video back defending yourself. I am sorry I said I wanted to punch you. I don't mean it. I am very sorry. I need you to know that there are hundreds of men who follow you who are in my comments right now being misogynist. What you think you're doing. I don't know who you think your audience is, but this is what you are fostering. You are growing an audience of men who feel entitled and who are misogynistic, and you are encouraging them to continue to be loud and misogynistic.
This has to be a joke, right? You made a 45-minute hit piece saying that you wanted to hit Emily King, and then when the men actually went to bat for her, defending a woman who had a threat of violence made against her, you want to say that you're a victim and they're misogynistic? Defending a woman is the most anti-misogynistic thing I've ever fucking seen. The craziest part is that Emily never even name-dropped this girl. Not once. And now you want to say that by men defending her, she's breeding misogyny and an entitled community of men? Like, you just expect her to get on the internet and be like, Hey guys, it's Emily King. So you know that creator that made a 45-minute hit piece on me and threatened violence against me, and I didn't even name drop her. I just said how ridiculous it was and that I was disappointed. Well, you guys are going to her and telling her that what she did was wrong, and I'm gonna need you to stop that because it's hurting her fifis. What about the fact that when you speak to a large community and say, I want to hit this person, that is inciting violence? I am sick and tired of some of these women getting on the internet, saying whatever they want, being direct bullies. And then when they get called out on it, they want to play victim. Like, you're really the type of girl that thinks that you can just go out in public, walk up to someone and say their mom's fat and not get punched in the face. You're one of those, aren't you? The fact that men aren't even in your comments, like telling you to like unalive yourself or really projecting like violent misogyny. They're just simply telling you how wrong you were. And you're still sitting here screaming, well, it's misogyny. I'm a victim. What about all the women calling you out, huh? Queer Kiwi? First of all, before you ever try to come for a queen like Emily King, try washing your hair. You had men in your comments saying things like Emily's husband must be so disappointed because she looks like she never puts out. You had men in your comments saying that they were surprised that Emily King is engaged considering she has a body of a 12-year-old. You didn't give two fucks about those misogynistic comments, so don't you dare come to the men's rights community asking for some fucking apologies, playing victim, when you were the one that brought this upon yourself. Take a fucking bath and then take a hike. Maybe men can't comprehend that you're a D because you're not a D. You're a C. I'm a D, and that's all I can show you without no longer having a fiance. Why you capping?
Make this video. I understand that people like Roma and fuck 'em, feed 'em, leave 'em alone literally looped y'all in and fucking were, you know, fake advocates for men just to get you to be on their spicy page. Wow, you're fake as fuck. Anyways, I'm coming on here to say that I'm not gonna be one of those.
She has now deleted her TikTok and her YouTube, and for the record, I've never had an OnlyFans, you fucking Brussels sprout. If you click the audio of that video, you can see where I absolutely demolished her for coming into the men's rights community and talking shit, not just talking shit, but blocking every single men's rights advocate, from me to its Tay-Tay baby, to Lady J, to Emily King, to Matt Chuli, even Green. She got blocked. This girl came on here spreading false information, talking shit about every single one of us and saying, you can trust me, I'm special. Well, it seems like all of our communities combined came together and pressed Control-Alt-Delete on her situation because she has deleted her YouTube and she's deleted her TikTok. She's practically erased all traces of herself, and I'd like to think that it's probably because I'm the only one and the first one to call her out on the fact that she's absolutely addicted to downers and she's been high on a downer almost every single video she's ever done. But in reality, it's because you guys came together and you decided who you want as your advocate and who is just faking for you. Because let's be honest, I've said a lot of controversial things in my past. It's been a long time growing, and I'm still growing and still maturing. So hating me, yeah, that makes sense. But hating Emily King, hating the Dadvocate, hating Lady J, that doesn't make any sense. You're a grifter, and it's no wonder that she used to sit there and be like, I'm gonna be the biggest and only men's rights advocate in this community. But the moment she gets called out, she's like, bye. I'm personally glad that we got her because I'm sick of these grifters coming into the community. I absolutely used to do not safe for work content. I never had an OnlyFans, but still, same spectrum. But one thing that nobody can deny is the fact that I was the first woman on social media to ever advocate for men. I made it through horrendous, horrific false allegations, a suicide attempt, and I'm still here 5 years later, still trending. Don't mind my son, he's playing dinosaurs. So you don't have to like me, but if you don't put respect on my name and the other women in this community who pioneered it, then you're out of here. And clearly, the trash took itself out. Excuse me, what? 1 in 6 men will experience sexual abuse or abuse in their lives at the hands of women. Yeah, but it happens to women more. And what the fuck did you get? What? I'm just saying it happens to women more. 1 in 4 women. Oh, Okay? This isn't about you. I wasn't talking to you, Becky. Anyways, the majority of violent crimes are perpetrated against men. But it's men doing it to men. So, excuse me for a second. Becky, lesbians take up the majority of the domestic violence rate. Should we say fuck the female victims of lesbian domestic violence because their perpetrator is a woman? No, that's not what I'm saying. Okay, so this isn't about you, okay? Sorry, let me continue. Men take up the majority of the suicide rate, the homeless rate, the homicide rate. They're majority to be killed by the girl who just wants to be picked says what? Oh my god, what is your point, Becky? Well, I don't really have one. Okay, perfect. Then why are you here? I just kind of like to invade men's spaces and call any woman who's not actively preaching the hate of men a pick-me. Anyways, everybody please ignore her. As I was saying, your life holds value. Please don't take your own life. You just want to get picked? Why are you pandering to men? Oh my god, Becky, this is not about you. You know what? You can advocate for men without putting women down. You know what? No, that's it.
All day, every day, therapist, mother, maid, then a virgin.
Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Sit over here. Leave me alone.
Grown white man
Leave me alone.
attacking a Hispanic woman on
You
the
are
street.
attacking me.
Go away.
Leave me alone. Don't touch me. Right. This is what you want? This is what are you welcome here? This is what you want.
As a woman, I'm disturbed on multiple levels. In case you didn't read that caption, that woman does not know that man from a hole in the wall, and yet she goes up beside him, demands he move because she's a woman and he needs to give up his seat for her, and proceeds to physically intimidate him, grab him, touch him. Now here's the thing, as a woman, if she came up to me and did that, well, I would have the absolute right to mollywop that ass and walk her like a fucking dog. But because he's a man, you notice how when she went to go grab him, he was like, my hands are right here. He can't shove her, he can't touch her because then he's in the wrong. So I don't understand like where this entitlement is coming from. She's really lucky that he had the self-restraint of like a god because my god. You know, as women, we fought so hard to be independent. We fought so hard to be treated as like equals and not just treated like dog shit, like less than men, you know what I mean? And now that we have that, now we just have turned it into this like, put me on a pedestal or I'm going to abuse you. That's not all women, but like a lot of women. And we hear it in these contexts, whether it's like that or it's a woman doing something completely obnoxious and dehumanizing and the guy says, this is my boundary, change or I'm leaving. And she responds with, I'll find somebody who will accept me for who I am. I mean, this is just like, it's conditioning. It's conditioning of women to treat men like shit on the prefix of equality and feminism. So we're just gonna stop that right now. She's very lucky that man kept his hands to himself, unlike her.